Welcome to NC Family Secret. North Carolina government is essentially not working this week or next week, so I'm going to take this opportunity to step outside of my norm by introducing you to Skeeter McGavin, a congressional staffer in TikTok who you'll likely never see if you don't have the app. While Skeeter's account does have typical posts, a few of them caught my ear in the political sense, as her job primarily involves handling casework, particularly for issues involving our military. It's nice to have a first-hand peek into what government employees have to say, and I love the down-to-earth way that she talks. We could easily be friends. Full disclaimer though, I have no idea what district she works for.
If I have never been on your For You page before, my name is Skeeter. I'm a congressional staffer in the U.S. House of Representatives, and I oversee all the veterans and military casework for my district. And this is no shade to you, but this is the type of comment that I get all the time, and it irks me to my core. Because not agreeing with my politics, right? You see all the hard work that I do for veterans. You see that this entire page is dedicated to helping people access constituent services provided by their federally elected representatives. And the only time I talk politics on here, i.e. Dem versus Republican, is when I'm pointing out all of the ways that Republican members of Congress are screwing veterans. I mean, the Republicans' most recent appropriations bill, their Milcon VA appropriations bill, is a perfect example of this. Because when it comes to campaign ads, they love you guys. They fucking love a veteran in a campaign ad. But properly funding agencies like the VA to take care of you, no. Their most recent appropriations bill would underfund the Toxic Exposure Fund that was created by the PACT Act by almost $14 billion. Like, that's the budget that Republicans proposed. They were like, nah, fuck veterans. Let's claw back almost $14 billion from them. And it shouldn't be considered politics to point that out. I mean, you can go to congress.gov and see with your own eyes how both sides of the aisle actually vote on things. That's not politics. That's policy. Just your favorite congressional staffer here to remind you that the VA does not give a flying fucking ballerina if you have evidence that you sustained an injury. They are looking for service treatment records, STRs. So, if your chain of command does not let you seek medical attention, you're never going to get VA benefits for that injury.
Stop, listen, hip got
Make your own kind of music. Sing your own special.
Can I talk my shit again? Can I talk my shit again?
To be appreciative that I am lucky enough to get 4.
If I have never been on your For You page before, I'm Skeeter. I'm a congressional staffer in the U.S. House of Representatives, and I oversee all of the veterans and military casework for my district. Thank you to whoever tagged me in this, because we absolutely need to discuss the issues that man is trying to address. This video is going to talk about two things: the broad scope, the policy of the legislation, and how a congressional staffer like me can try and help intervene in these types of situations. We have to talk about the broad scope first here, because it's very important. Congressional staffers, as magic as we are, we do not have magic wands, and we cannot circumvent federal law. With that being said, VA eligibility standards are set forth by federal law. So when we're talking about service connect, non-service connect, that percentage you get, what that equals in a dollar amount, why some percentages are payable at zero, the percentage threshold you have to meet to get VA health care, the threshold you have to meet to be labeled total and permanent or to meet unemployability. All of those standards are set forth by federal law. And unfortunately, our colleagues on the other side of the aisle continuously vote down any type of measure to expand healthcare benefits, VA benefits, pension benefits, any of it. Because, ding, 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 it involves money. Case in point, the PACT Act. And before anyone hops in my comments being a smartass, it was a standalone fucking bill. The bill stood the fuck alone. The sole purpose of the bill was to expand toxic exposure benefits for pretty much every veteran in every war era that you can think of. And take three magical guesses as who constantly tried to vote it down because they wanted to make that money discretionary spending, meaning every single year, veterans would have to crawl back up to the hill and beg for that money to be re-included in the budget, as opposed to what Democrats fought for and made happen, mandatory spending, which means the PACT Act is set into law from here till forever. But sneaky Republicans right now, as we speak, are trying to claw back the money that was reserved, the billions of dollars that was set aside for you, for veterans, for healthcare. They're trying to claw it back right now with their most current appropriations bill. Second part of this video is going to be how to utilize congressional staffers like me to help you in these types of situations dealing with unruly fucking VA workers. So you can call your congressional rep or either of your two US senators. You can call their district office. If you just go to house.gov, type in your zip code, it'll take you directly to all of those representatives' web pages. You can scroll all the way down, find the district office phone number, and call and ask to speak with the veterans caseworker. You can best believe if one of my veterans called and told me that a social worker was talking to them like this, I would throw fucking hands. Literally. If I have never been on your For You page before, my name is Skeeter. I'm a congressional staffer in the U.S. House of Representatives, and I oversee all the veterans and military casework for my district. It's wackadoodle to me, the majority of registered Republicans. Y'all have never even tried to verify how your Republican representative actually votes on things, right? I know they have good sound bites, good Twitter posts, but how are they voting on the floor? Because you could take 2 seconds out of your day to go to congress.gov and you could see with your own eyes how they actually fucking vote. Because if you did, you would see a resounding, reoccurring theme with Republican representatives and what they refuse to fund and who they actually despise in this country. It's veterans. They fucking hate you guys. Because properly taking care of you costs too much money. Case in point, last year, the PACT Act, introduced by a Democrat, Republicans in the House and the Senate consistently tried to block this bill because they wanted to make that funding discretionary instead of mandatory, meaning that veterans, families, advocates would have to crawl their way back up to the hill every single fucking year to beg for that money again to be included in the next fiscal year versus mandatory, which is what the bill is, what Democrats fought for. In an even more specific case in point, what is happening in real fucking time right now. Hi, this is a brief from the House Committee on Appropriations. You want to know what Republicans are doing right now to show veterans they don't give a fuck about you? The Republicans' Military and Veterans Affairs Appropriations Fiscal Year 24 bill and the Default on America Act essentially is going to be clawing back almost $2 billion from veterans and medical care. Essentially, this Milk on VA bill breaks every promise that Republicans made when they signed on the PACT Act. Because with the PACT Act of 2022, that included what's called the Cost of War Toxic Exposure Fund, TEF. The president's fiscal year 24 budget requested $20.3 billion for the TEF in 2024. The Republican bill only provides $5.5 billion. Therefore, TEF is going to be underfunded by over $14 billion. And Republicans are choosing to fill that hole with other random discretionary funding, essentially denying veterans the mandatory funding we promised them on the PACT Act. And that's not even the worst part. Republicans are taking it a step further, like in real time, right fucking now. They are proposing to completely eliminate guaranteed funding for care related to toxic exposure in 2025 by providing zero. Bitch, zero. That's the proposed amount, motherfucker. $0 in advanced appropriation for TEF. How the fuck is that not wacky? Like, I get it. Your Republican representatives have really good media sound bites and really good Twitter posts about America and patriotism, freedom. But when it comes to what you elected them to do, to take care of you, i.e., how they vote on legislation, they don't give a fuck about veterans. I don't know how much clearer I can make it for you guys, so get your heads out of your asses. Thanks.
Can I talk my shit again? Can I talk my shit again? I can't believe I'm back up in this.
The VA has continued to let me down. Fuck.
I've never been on your For You page before. My name is Skeeter. I'm a congressional staffer in the U.S. House of Representatives. I work out of a district office and I oversee all of the veterans and military casework for my district. I'm hopping on here looking like a bag of trash because I have a couple of avenues of access for this gentleman, as well as any other veteran who is dealing with continuity of care with their mental health care providers through the VA. First thing you can do is you can contact a staffer like me and we will gladly set up a case for you and send a congressional inquiry over to the VA Medical Center to ask them what the fuck is going on and how the fuck they're gonna fix it. Literally just successfully finished a case like this 2.5 weeks ago for a veteran who got kicked off of his doctor's care, his mental health care provider's care, who he'd been with for almost 3.5 years because it was an administrative error. You can go to house.gov and you can type in your zip code and it'll link you directly to your congressional representative's webpage. You'll scroll all the way to the bottom. You are going to find the district office contact information. It is going to be a local number. So you are not going to be calling the DC office. You're going to call the local, the district office, because it is filled with caseworkers like me who can set up a case for you and send that inquiry for you. Second option, he's in Florida and most states have well over 20 plus vet centers. They're called the Vet Center. Now, before anyone jumps in the comment being a smartass, vet centers, yes, are funded by the VA. However, very important point, they do not report to the VA. They do not answer to the VA. They do not talk to the VA. They literally just take the VA's money so that they can set up clinics. It's filled with counselors and therapists, all of which are veterans themselves. And the vet center here in my district, holy shit, they're a fucking godsend. So check them out. Third option. Most states, most major cities have what are called veteran treatment courts. Now, I know what you're thinking, like, oh, I didn't get arrested. Why do I need to go to court? Why do I need to go to a judge? Veteran treatment courts have these subset groups called vet-to-vet groups. These are literally peer therapy groups for people going through some deep-ass shit. I have sat in on quite a few of these. They are very, very helpful. Every veteran I know that has gone to a vet-to-vet peer group either starts being a mentor themselves or their life just completely changes because I don't think people understand the weight mental health care can have on a person, especially if it's bad mental health care. And so when you're able to get into groups like Vet-to-Vet or the Vet Center or get to a congressional staffer like me who just gives a shit, it can change your whole perspective. I've been doing this for almost 10 years as a caseworker and seeing veterans go from the state that that guy is in to the state that they could be in to a state where they feel like they're supported and that someone actually gives a shit about them. Like, worlds change.
Hello, 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 hello. It's a motherfucking pleasure.
Don't you throw that up here.
You raggedy bitch.
Whatever. What's that gonna do? Honestly, what?
You rang. My name is Skeeter. I'm a congressional staffer in the U.S. House of Representatives. I work out of a district office and I oversee all of the veterans and military casework for my district. Now, his attitude in that video is absolutely well warranted, but it also tells me that he hasn't even bothered to try and call his member of Congress or either of his 2 U.S. senators. Because my sole purpose as a caseworker is to handle issues like this for veterans. I work with Veterans Health Administration and the Office of Community Care on a weekly basis, situating issues just like this man has. Members of Congress are not just responsible for policy in DC, guys. All 435 members of Congress and all 100 U.S. senators, every single one of them has a district office filled with caseworkers just like me. Legitimately, all you have to do is call and tell them you're having an issue with a federal agency, and wham bam, we'll set you up a case and do a congressional inquiry for you.
I'm fresher than a motherfucker. Okay.
Can I talk my shit again? Can I talk my shit?
To you, I never said I was driving reckless. You and I know the jealousy is not impressive. Oh no, I can't stop, I was destined.
Ding, 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 correct.
So VA eligibility standards are set forth by federal law. And so you'll always see these comments like, make sure you get evidence that you sustained this injury, right? Based on eligibility standards, the VA doesn't give a flying fucking ballerina if you have evidence that you sustained an injury. What they are looking for are service treatment records, STRs. So if you sustained an injury and your chain of command does not let you seek medical fucking attention, you are never ever gonna see VA benefits for that injury. And NCOs are notoriously empathetic, right? Okay, yeah, this is 1000% accurate because as a congressional staffer, someone who fields those congressional inquiries over to DOD, to National Guard, to Pentagon, let me tell you. Because when we as caseworkers can show a reoccurring theme that is showing in our casework, we have more firepower to go and kick down that agency's door. And when it comes to the DOD, we then have more leverage administratively and legislatively. Because let's not get it mistaken, SA in our armed forces, in our military, is an absolute epidemic.
No one asked for this, but I got the voice filter, so I'm going to do icks that congressional staffers have about constituents. Biggest ick. Biggest ick. When we ask for your zip code and mailing address, and you happen to live outside of the district of the office that you are calling, and the staffer, whoever answers the phone, tells you, hey, do you want me to give you the contact information for your actual congressional representative because you live outside of our district? Instead of the constituent just listening to basic government civics, no, they want to make it personal. They want to tell whoever answered the phone, fuck you, you just don't want to help me. It's because I didn't vote for you. Blah, blah. Bitch, we don't care who you fucking voted for. We only care about your zip code. And if you don't believe the person you're talking to, just go to house.gov and type in your zip code. It'll fucking tell you who your representative is, and I guarantee it's not the office that you're calling.
Oh, if you want all that tea, I have 4 words for you. Dear White Staffers, Instagram. Go follow the account. You'll thank me later. Rude, I'm trying to make a video here.